because he's at it again. As the Flying Scotsman takes on Belgium's #1, Dimitri van den Bergh. Mark Wilson alongside me, and he might get treated to another Gary Anderson 9-darter here.
Well, you wouldn't rule it out, would you? Gary Anderson in flying form. And he's in again. Oh, this is ridiculous from Gary Anderson. Looking at a second 9-dart leg within the hour.
96.
To start the match with a perfect leg, having hit one in the previous round. Nope, not this time.
90.
A mere 11-darter is his next target. It's Van den Bergh, who must be wondering what on earth's going on here.
81.
Van den Bergh, who beat Tim Walters and Roby John Rodriguez to get here. Gary Anderson, double 16.
19.
Well, 2 darts missed, but he will be back.
$140.
Dimitri not yet done.
Game shot.
He is now a 13-dart holder throw for Gary Anderson, who's beaten Jules Van Dongen 6-2 and Jamie Hughes 6-1 en route to this stage.
100.
Dimitri has a very good record against the Flying Scotsman. Of course, some of his career high points, including the match play final, where he convincingly beat Gary Anderson. That was 4 years ago now, but he also beat him in the final of a World Series event in Copenhagen. That's when he
29.
managed to win back-to-back World Series events in 2022. Beating him at the UK Open, beat him at the Players' Championship finals the back end of last year. There's a whole load of big games where Dimitri has got the better of Gary, but right now, there is no question who is playing better darts. Gary Anderson is playing better darts than the vast majority of players on the planet. We haven't actually seen him competing in too much. Skipped loads of the Euro Tours, having won one, his first one for a decade earlier on this year. Kind of job done for him.
Yeah, won Players' Championship 22 as well. So the last 16 last time out. The big fish didn't have to go, but it was just the wrong side of the wire.
76.
Nice last start.
$140.
So this then, for a break of throw. Treble 18 hit, tops he needs for 2-0. Well, again, missed starts at doubles, so Van den Bergh gets a chance to hold throw.
Double top then for Dimmy.
33. Game shot.
It's 2-0 Anderson, and the way this game has started, Dimitri van den Bergh will know. In fact, the way that today has gone, Dimitri has stumbled through the first couple of rounds with his average for the day so far
91.
almost 20 points off what Gary Anderson is throwing. It's not they're playing different sports.
Yeah. Andrew Gilding in action against Luke Humphries. Luke Humphries won the opening leg, averaging 62.
What we'd call a lightning fast start.
Christopher Tysky 2-0 to the good over Dirk van Dijvenbode.
Vessel Nyman 4-0 up on Ryan Searle, averaging 105.5.
He was very good in his opening game on this board, Vessel Nyman. Very good indeed. Speaking of very good, this fella's not bad either.
180 number 3 leaves the 170. Dimitri will not leave a finish, so Gary Anderson has 96. No need to take this out in this visit.
Doesn't have to. Doesn't mean he won't. Oh, he's not going to go for it.
30.
Decides to leave himself tops. Thought maybe double 16 was his go-to double nowadays.
93.
But evidently when you're playing this well, you can do whatever you want. Tops then.
Game
He's
shot.
in 13 darter.
Right in the middle. A second successive 13 darter on his own throw. Just 107 at the minute, the average.
59.
Which is kind of what he's done so far today. His numbers for the whole year, averaging just over 100.
120.
That one hits the floor. From nearly 60 matches. That is a good 2.5
57.
points clear of everybody else. And that is a chasm.
Yeah, it is. He just looks a player at the minute.
140.
He just looks happy and content with himself. He looks to be playing without any pressure. I don't think is he ever really under any pressure, Gary Anderson, given what he's done in the game? But like you said, he's picking and choosing when he plays, and when he plays, he's playing well.
And yet, the big TV events, it's not gone
60.
according to plan. Why is that? He's completely reversed his career, where Gary Anderson would turn up at the World Championship and be amazing, but didn't even bother playing Euro Tour and wasn't as good as you knew he could be on the floor. Now, he's a Pro Tour beast, and it doesn't turn it on in the big TV event.
105.
That could change, though, in the next few months, couldn't it?
Certainly could. I don't think you'd be too comfortable if you were betting
57.
against him at the minute. This for 4-0. Oh, great first start.
Game
Great
shot.
second dart. 4 legs to 0. Dimitri Bergh there just shook his head as if to say, what on earth am I supposed to be doing here?
To be honest, we're 4 legs into this, and I need to remind Dimitri was even playing this game. Just watching Gary Anderson go down from 5-0-1 to 0.
140.
Ridiculous. Christoph Ratajski's also 4-0 up over Dirk van Dijvenbode.
Yeah, and another
140.
high 90s average from Christoph. This is vintage Ratajski. Computer.
Said to you earlier, I
140.
think when we just start to write him off is generally when he pops up and does something quite special.
Yeah, some interesting stories around today. Dimitri, he is here.
180.
Ted Everts, a man who got a call 2 hours before play
85.
started to see if he fancied a game of darts. He's averaging 100 and in a real battle with Johnny Clayton for a spot in the last 16. Vessel Nyman is through to the last 16 because Ryan Searle has been swept aside. It's another big average from Vessel of 105.
Yeah. Put him on the list of potential winners here. Very much so, the way he's playing at the moment.
You can
100.
put him on the potential list of winners of pretty much anything. He is that good. Now, Dimitri, for an 11 darter, he needs legs like this. He's got a leg like that. It is a brilliant leg from the Belgian.
That's what it's got to be, to get legs in this. Brutal stuff. Look at that. He's
81.
averaging 95 and he's barely had a sniff. Anderson near 109.
140. $96. $100.
Luke Littler and Callum Goffin in an interesting fight. 3 apiece in that one.
60.
Tom Taylor 5-1 to the good over Neil Zonneveld.
Yeah, it looks like Neil's excellent stuff today is coming to an abrupt halt there against the Tower. Stephen
100.
Bunting and Jermaine Wattermain are having a Brahma as well, both in 3 figures in the averages. Wattermain, the machine gun, 4-3 up on the bullet.
180.
And Dimitri hits a second 180, and things are starting to come together for Dimmy.
Certainly are. And he's going to get a chance here to hold throw.
97.
Get back within 2. Bullseye it will be. And
Game
bullseye he will deliver as well. really good couple of legs in response for Dimitri van den Bergh. He was under the blowtorch earlier on, wasn't he? But he's
140.
kept calm and comes back with 2 legs.
Rob Cross 4-0 up against Nathan Rafferty. Not playing particularly well, though. It won't matter for Rob Cross, to be honest, because his main goal is just win some games, get some ranking money, get into the spots for the Players' Championship finals. He knows
100.
he is very unlikely to be very high in that list because he skipped so many events early this year. But as long as he's in the top 64, he's in the event. And because they seed it on your order of merit, he is going to be a silly first-round draw for one of the big boys, assuming that he's in that 64.
Yeah, it's
140.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you don't get the big names at the top of the list all the time, and you almost feel sorry for the player that does draw
180.
them.
3 legs running now. Dimitri has hit a maximum, and it means he's got a chance. But has he got a chance in this leg? Bullseye for the Flying Scotsman. He's pinned, and he hits back with a bull finish of his own when Dimitri was just threatening to make a real game of this. He's playing so much better in the last 3 legs than he was in the first 4, but it might be too late for the Dream Maker.
100.
You mentioned about the Rob Cross being an awkward draw. He's got Luke Littler, of course, at the Grand Prix.
He has. I think that's a very difficult one. Only
140.
first 2 sets, of course. First round of the Grand Prix, double start. First time that Littler will have played in that particular tournament.
97.
Although Cross was beaten by Andrew Gilding last year, if I remember rightly, at the first round stage. Hasn't really got the Grand
97.
Prix down yet as Bobby Cross.
Van den Bergh here, hoping to stay
58.
in. They're one of 3 here. Robin Park in Wigan. Based on what we've seen so far, we might be seeing quite a lot of this fella
180.
over the next couple of days at least. Another max with Gary Anderson.
180.
And 1 for Dimitri. It's a 4th in 4 legs, but this might be curtains because Gary Anderson has been irresistible in this game. Bullseye to win it again.
42.
Match start missed by the Flying Scotsman.
66 then. So 9 for double 16 for a 3rd leg.
Game
and double
shot.
16, he hits right in the middle. Credit to Dimitri van den Bergh. He's clinging on. A fist bump from Gary Anderson, who has missed a match start. But Anderson with a throw here. And guess what? He's right in the middle of the red bit again.
180.
He started the day with 104 average, then he averaged 107 and hit a 9 darter. This game, he is currently averaging in the 100-teens, Gary Anderson. He is getting better, and there is very little room to improve on what he's doing here. There is one obvious way.
100.
But he's not going to finish with a perfect leg.
Dimitri van den Bergh has not done an awful lot wrong here. Gary Anderson has done an awful lot right, and he potentially is going to end with an 11 dart leg here. Well, it's like he's playing a different game to everybody else here at Robin Park at the minute. 12 for double 16 then. Double 8. Oh,
28.
an error. An error from Anderson, but he will be back.
Yeah, and I suppose the silver lining from Gary's point of view is that he didn't hit that dart and stick in the 16s and bust and go back to 44. There's 3 more match darts for a 6-3 win, and what a win it will be. There it is, a 14-darter to wrap it up, and that, ridiculously, brings his average down because he was unreal in that match. Gary Anderson has averaged 111. He's hit 5 more 180s. He is getting better